warm, muggy night here in St. Louis. Skip Schumacher, his special night. It's the anthem, Skip Schumacher Action Photo Ball. And we're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Over 40,000 expected. The A's and Cardinals in interleague play once again. And along with Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals Baseball. Of course, we're on Fox Sports Midwest tonight and again tomorrow afternoon. Al, when you look at the A's and how they approach this series, they had Carpenter last night, Wainwright tonight. They had Carpenter on the ropes really early on, but Chris Carpenter's so good, 50 pitches through 2 innings, but yet still grinds through it and picks up a win.
Well, his teammate said it best. You may get him 1 inning, but after that he'll settle in and he'll shut you down. He kind of struggled from the get-go, but he is that good that he can stop the opposition. And, of course, we got a good pitching matchup with Sheets and Wainwright here tonight. And
one of the guys that Ben Sheets knows all too well is Albert Pujols. And Pujols, very good numbers against Ben. Of course, that was from his time in Milwaukee, .371 average against Ben Sheets. 4 home runs and 14 strikeouts. Let's flash back and the last road win for Ben Sheets against the Cardinals.
Well, that was back in 08. You can see he was part of a combined 12-0 shutout of the Cardinals. By the way, he is 6-14 against the Cardinals. The 14 losses, the most against any opponent. He's also lost 3 straight games and really not getting much run support, and we hope that continues with Wainwright on the mound.
And to add a little bit more fuel to the tough test tonight for Oakland, to that fire of Adam Wainwright, he's pitching here at home at Busch Stadium, and he's been a guy that basically is unhittable here at home.
Well, he's had 21 consecutive quality starts here at home. He gives up very little here, so you expect it to be a low-scoring game, at least for Oakland.
All right, Wainwright and Sheets, the Oakland A's in town, and it's interleague play. We'll revisit the big 3, Hudson, Mulder, Zito, what might have been. Back with more in just a moment. Ball game tonight It was raining about 20 minutes ago. Dan and Al back with you. And the big three, what might have been for the Oakland A's. Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, and Mark Mulder.
Well, they broke them up. I'm sure if they were all back and pitching and healthy, the A's would not have lost 3 straight or 6 out of 7. This really is amazing. They do have some very talented young pitchers, but for whatever reason, they just do not win on the road. They have a very poor record on the road. Their ERA, their home hitting is dramatically better than on the road, and they're going to have a tough time tonight when they're facing Wainwright.
So Zito now with San Francisco, Hudson with Atlanta, and Mulder on a golf course near you. It's Wainwright going tonight for the Cardinals against Ben Sheets. Baseball at some point coming up. A's and Cardinals here from Busch. Let's take a look at our text poll tonight. And this is brought to you by U.S. Cellular. What is the best Father's Day gift? Electronics, tools, a necktie, or Cardinals tickets? Text gift A, B, C, or D. Al, you've been through many of Father's Day, so what's the best?
A, B, C. No, not C. A, B, and D. Forget about the C.
Al, you can only choose one.
A, B, D.
That's Al. That's why he's one of the best. Text poll presented by U.S. Cellular. The right-handers getting loose. Sheets and Wainwright.
have earned their team more wins in 2010 than the Cardinals co-aces. Chris Carpenter set the bar high in 2005 with a Cy Young campaign. His 21 wins were a career high, and his 2.83 ERA was one of the best in baseball. 2006 was highlighted by Wainwright's postseason heroics, and his strikeout to win it all carved his place into Cardinals history. Both back and healthy in 2010, Carpenter earned the win last night. Wainwright looks to follow suit tonight. Game 2 of this 3-game set coming up next on Fox Sports Midwest.
full flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Jig, life needs flavor. By Chevy's expert auto service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at STLChevy.com. And by Casino Queen Hotel and Casino, home of the loosest slots. We'll be there tomorrow, the Champions Club, and still good seats available here at the ballpark. The bat and ball set giveaway tomorrow afternoon. A look at the lineup for the Oakland A's. Davis, who had a big night in Game 1, followed by the former Cardinal farmhand Derek Barton, recently picked up from Arizona, Connor Jackson, Kurt Suzuki, Ryan Sweeney, Kevin Kuzminoff, Mark Ellis, Cliff Pennington, and former Milwaukee Brewer Ben Sheets. And they will face Adam Wainwright. He is our Marshall Wireless Sprint starter. He already has 3 complete games under his belt and already looking for double digits tonight. He's 9-4 on the year.
Has been outstanding. He's 8th in National League in ERA, tied for 2nd in wins, tied for 2nd complete games, 5th in innings pitched, tied for 3rd in strikeouts, 8th in opponents' batting average. And he really tells a story about how well he pitches here at home. He has had 21 consecutive quality starts, 6 innings, 3 runs or less, and that is the longest streak in the major leagues.
Chris Carpenter got career victory number 125 last night. There's Jeff Suppan on the left. Soup will go tomorrow. And let's meet the Cardinals defense tonight. Holiday in left, Rasmussen center, and Ryan Ludwig is in right field. David Freese, Brendan Ryan, Skip Schumacher, and Albert Pujols along the infield. And our battery this evening, 2 familiar faces, Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina. Bob Guerin in his 4th year as the skipper of the Oakland A's, and the former A's manager, Tony La Russa, now with St. Louis. Rajai Davis leads it off and looks at a strike. Joe West is your home plate umpire tonight.
How about Rajai Davis? Matched his career high in hits last night with 4, and he's been on a hitting tear.
Went 4 for 5, stays away from that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's had 4 straight multi-hit games, 11 for 19.
Real key, though, is trying to keep him off the bases. As he goes down to get this pitch, and it's off the wall. Holiday plays it off that side in the left field corner and makes a good play to get it back in and hold him to just a double.
Almost identical to last night's start. Lead off double by Rajai Davis.
The walls here at Busch Stadium, or at least down that left field line, you go down the line and then it jets out a little bit on a diagonal, and then it starts to circle around left field behind Matt Holliday, and that's where it hit off that side wall, so you're not sure what kind of hop you're going to get.
You see it kind of hugged the wall down there, and with his great speed, though, it was going to be a double either way, and you got to always worry about him stealing third.
We saw last night in the first, Barton was bunting in this spot.
So 300 better in his last 24 games. He had a long hitting streak stop last night. Former Cardinal farmhand finally getting to play in St. Louis.
More than 7 years after being drafted. Up and in. He was a first-round pick, and he's 24. He was the clincher in that deal to make it happen to pick up Mark Mulder.
But he was kind of blocked in the Cardinal minor league system. You know, he was a catcher back then, and he played catcher at first base. He has no future in St. Louis.
No. Taken there by Brendan Ryan, and Davis stays put at second. Now, Bart was saying that it was a deal that he was actually excited about because of what you're talking about, knowing that Pujols was a fixture at first, wasn't sure about his potential at this level as a catcher, and so he winds up with Oakland, where he could DH or play first base, and Billy Beane covets on-base percentage, and throughout the minor leagues, Barton had always had that.
Right, and even now this year, he's walking quite a bit at the American League. Here's the new A, Connor Jackson, just earlier this week got traded from Arizona.
Now we talk about the Mulder deal, and because Barton is here, he is the focal point of our telecast when we talk about that trade, but we forget Tico Calero was part of that deal, and the biggest name to come out of that, and probably the most productive, arguably, Dan Herron.
Well, Danny Herron was a star waiting to happen, and it was shocking to me why Oakland got rid of him so quickly. He's still young.
One out and a runner at second, and hit by the pitch is Jackson on a pitch that was up. Don't forget our Fan of the Game photo contest. All you have to do is head to foxsportsmidwest.com to upload a photo of fans in Cardinals gear, and you can win a family fun pack from the Magic House. Enter now at foxsportsmidwest.com. Last week we had a winner that was about 3-4 years old, had the fake mustache and the hat worn exactly like Brendan Ryan.
And you know what? That 3 or 4 year old grew a better mustache than Brendan Ryan.
I noticed. And here is Kurt Suzuki. We saw Carpenter last night in the first inning also give up a leadoff double and hit a man in the first. Pitch number 9 from Wainwright underway. It's a breaking ball and a strike to Suzuki, who led their team in RBIs last year. Those two a fixture working out all the time. That's Carpenter in the middle with the sweatshirt on the right. Jason LaRue. You get to the ballpark early around 2 o'clock. You'll see those two running and doing agility drills and whatnot. LaRue's told me he's probably in the best shape of his career. Runner goes, and a throw to third is into left field. And Davis will score, and this will make it 1-0 Oakland. The speed of Davis. And Molina commits his second error in this series.
4th overall, and you can see Yachty just really kicking himself. Not sure he ever really got the handle on that ball. First it kind of skips out there, he backhands it, and then he just sailed on him as he bounced there and really never got the handle. Throws it into left field.
So it's a stolen base and E2 on the play. Jackson moves up to second. Davis scores the run, and Suzuki 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. So just like last night, Oakland with an early lead. That's pulled to third base. Freeze backhands and makes the play. And hitting from the left side, it'll be Sweeney with 2 outs. Ryan Sweeney will dig in, hitting above 300. He's at 301. 1 home run, 29 RBIs, and he was 0 for 3 last night.
Tough road trip, only 2 for 20. And he really symbolizes the trouble they've had on the road. On the road, he's batting .241. At home, .354. 23 of his 29 RBIs have come at home.
Mentioned that Carpenter picked up career win number 125 last night. That was in his 200th career decision. So .625 is his winning percentage.
Very high.
Breaking ball lifted into center. Colby will get under it and makes the catch. Cardinals coming up in their half of the first against Ben Sheets. And Skip a good night last night with 3 hits, including that double that brought in a run that proved to be the game winner. 1-0 pitch to Schumacher, taken for a strike. Ben Sheets, the former Milwaukee Brewer, our Toyota keys to the game. 0-4 on the road with a high ERA. He's given up 9 of his 12 home runs on the road.
But isn't that an indication of how they played this year? He has struggled on the road, 0-3 in his last 7 starts with an ERA at 3.7.
Lifted into center field, and that's a base hit. Well, you have to get a hit on your own baseball night.
Well, let's hope it's only the beginning. You mentioned he had 3 hits last night.
So let's take a look at how Tony lines them up tonight. Schumacher and then Matt Holliday, who homered in Game 1. Albert Pujols, Ryan Ludwig, Kobe Rasmus, David Freese, Yadier Molina, Adam Wainwright, and then you'll see Brendan Ryan. Davis almost came up with it. He's also lucky that didn't get by him.
Absolutely. Playing very deep. Couldn't come in on the line drive to center. And this combination, first 2 in the order, had 6 hits and 4 RBIs last night.
Long one down the left field line. Hooking. And into the Big Mac land deck, but foul.
This crowd a little bit buzzing as yesterday hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. And just foul. Was it the first inning or was it?
First inning.
Okay. And when the Cardinals score first, they usually win.
I think it's only 4 losses on the year when they don't score first. Foul back. And Holliday also picked up an RBI with a runner in scoring position. How key was that for him, just to get the monkey off his back?
Cardinals are 25-5 when they score first. Thanks to Holliday and Schumacher. They had an early lead yesterday against a guy that's given up the most extra base hits in the American League.
Ooh. Sheets doesn't get the call, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I don't think Ben can believe it. I don't think we believe it. That looked pretty good. This is our Fox Tracks presented by Dodge.
Boy, this is a perfect pitch. That's what you call pitching on the block.
Ben Sheets, a 4-time National League All-Star, signed just a 1-year deal with the A's. He missed the entire 2009 season. He went through elbow surgery. First 8 years of his career with Milwaukee. Their all-time leader in strikeouts with 1,206. Down the left field line again with foul. And Holliday broke his bat.
Ben Sheets, a Olympic hero for the United States. He looks a little heavier than what we remember. Of course, Ben Sheets maybe not has the same velocity. Still, good enough at 93, 94. Still has a great curveball, but because of lack of velocity, he'll throw an occasional cutter and changeup. But it's still basically that very good curveball and fastball.
It's part of that Team USA 2000 Olympics gold medal team in Sydney, Australia. Another broken bat. Hit to third, out at second, and safe at first. Took a little while to develop, but I'm sure part of that was because of the bat coming at you. Trying to avoid that, making sure it wasn't going to hit him. Jackson, Davis, and Sweeney in the outfield. Kuzmanoff, Pennington, Ellis, and Martin along the infield. And Sheets and Kurt Suzuki, the battery for the A's. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs.
Albert and Ben Sheets have done a lot of battling. So his numbers overall, you can see the 310 average, 15 home runs, 50 RBIs, all amongst league leaders in a year that some people think is a down year for Albert.
Talking about that gold medal game that Ben Sheets was a part of in 2000, who was a hero because in the gold medal game it was against Cuba, who was heavily favored to win, and Sheets tossed a 3-hit shutout to win it. Pujols' numbers, we talked about it earlier, 371 hitter against Ben Sheets.
Albert called time, granted by the singing cowboy, Joe West.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Got him to reach. Kuzmanov to second. Out there. Nifty double play. A good turn at second base by Ellis. It's 1-0. To receive 50% off all remaining tickets, and that's the Eagles on June 24th here at Busch Stadium. Kevin Kuzmanov leads it off, and he started the double play to end the first. Very good double play turned by the A's.
Yes, it was. You know, tough throw for him to throw back across his body to second base.
He went 0 for 4 last night. Kuzmanov here, and then we'll see Ellis and the switch hitter Pennington.
He's hit 400 in interleague play this year and over 300 in his career.
Hits it into right. Ludwig over and makes the catch.
Not a good jump by Ludwig. How many times we say that?
Just trying to think earlier about the top defensive right fielders right now in the National League, and you'd have to put him right there with anybody in the league.
No doubt about it. He has played extremely well. He's got a strong throwing arm, very accurate. Gets good jumps, and one of the things that I like and really respect is he leaves his feet when it's necessary. Not all fielders do that, and he always has the ability to block that ball if he catches it, which he does most of the time. But if he doesn't, he always blocks that ball and keeps it from getting by him.
In the air out to center. Colby back with room in front of the track and makes the catch. One of 2010's best values this year, and hopefully folks are taking advantage of this, is the MasterCard Grand Slam Ticket Pack. On Monday through Thursday games, you can get 4 Cardinals.com. School is out. Kids tickets start at just $7 for any game all season long.
It's quite the deal.
It is quite the deal, and this place is filled up for a Saturday night.
That first run allowed was unearned.
Now you can see why the Cardinals, with their talent, but with this crowd, as you played in this league a number of years, it just charges you up. You talk to the players, they love playing here at home, the familiarity of it, but also the fact that it's packed just about every night.
Always, the Cardinal fans have always been so well respected. Visiting players love coming here. They always want to perform in front of a packed house, but they love the fact that they're knowledgeable and they respect guys that make great plays on their visiting team.
The strikeout for Wainwright is first. Ludwig leads it off when we come back.
percentage of curveballs thrown this year. And watch Wainwright as he has the third most. There's his strikeout. Outstanding job, but I mean, we showed that Carpenter was on there, but they want his percentage to go down because his cutter was not quite effective. But you look at Wainwright and you look at Ben Sheets, they are on that list for a reason. And really, when you think about Ben Sheets, he's really a two-pitch pitcher. Now, Wainwright also has a cutter, which he learned from Carpenter and Dave Duncan. But they're basically have that exceptional curveball to go along with their fastball.
Al Sheets is more of the 12 to 6 traditional curveball, you know, north-south, not the slurve or slider. But we really haven't seen that yet so far here early on.
Well, I think it's a condition from the elbow surgery that, you know, he still has a very good curveball. His fastball is down a little bit in velocity. And because maybe of that, they say we'll mix in a cutter this year, maybe a couple of changeups, but really don't go up there looking. It's going to confuse your bat.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Ludwig hits it in the air to center. Davis backs up and makes the catch.
Having some fun in Philly, aren't they? Big night for St. Louis and Ryan Howard last night. You have to think he's part of that mix as each team has scored 10.
You see on Sheets' glove as Colby digs in, he was over 3 last night. He has an extra patch of leather going across the index finger. And you might remember a few years ago, especially Jim Edmonds would pick up when pitchers were tipping their pitches by what they did with that index finger. So they'll just cover that up to try to make sure that there's no tipping of the pitches.
Yeah, originally that Rawlings glove was made without that little extra finger. It's outside the glove. And so what would happen is he would come to a certain pitch, whether it be the fastball, the curveball, and he would lift that finger up. And that's how hitters like Edmonds would pick up the pitch and figure out what he was throwing. Saw Suzuki trying to go up the ladder. Low ball hitter from Kobe, so he was high in his stance trying to have Sheets hit the ball or throw the ball up in the zone.
Al, with video, do you see and hear about that more than when you were playing? All the, you know, picking up of the tipping of pitches?
Most definitely. You know, maybe a player would keep that to himself, share it with a few of his teammates.
There's a 1-2 pitch to Colby. Swing and a miss.
And one of the reasons why you keep it yourself is so he wouldn't correct it.
Right. Nasty pitch here on Colby Rasmus, and a strikeout is first.
There's a slider there, and there's the Rawlings glove. Boy, they make a pretty glove. But more importantly than that, it's almost automatic. You can catch the ball.
Here's David Freese.
Danny, I'm sure you would have made it in the big leagues if you would have used a Rawlings. That was the only thing holding you back.
Al, there was a lot holding me back.
No, just the glove. So you've told me.
And a curveball that I couldn't hit. Lack of an arm.
But you are a good ball player.
Oh, I had fun. Freeze flies out to Davis in center. And the Cardinals go in order. 1-0 after 2. limits apply. Interleague fact, the highest National League on base percentage. Interleague play, the Cardinals at .353. That's your Southwest Airlines Interleague fact, and that's a look inside the Champions Club. They have over 50 flat screen TVs. It's air conditioned. They've got bars everywhere, serving more than just beer. But beer and sodas out there. That's right. They got the carving stations and pasta stations and all the food that you'd like. So
they'll have Dan and Al and Ricky tomorrow.
And you and Rick will be doing 8 innings of baseball together.
So Ricky will be doing 8.5 innings by himself.
You guys were upset with me last year because you couldn't find me for a while.
I wasn't upset. I knew where you were.
Ricky was upset.
Yes.
There's a base hit for Ben Sheets.
Now
and
that
is
historic. That literally is historic for Ben Sheets. Coming in. Look at he's laughing out there. He is statistically the second worst hitter in history for Ben Sheets. I mean, their pitchers, that's the first hit in interleague play for them. They are now, in history of interleague play, they are 23 for 248. But Ben Sheets personally is an 0.76. He's 33 for 436. 34 now for 436 at bats. He's the second lowest batting average in Major League history among players with 400 or more plate appearances. Dean Chance was the worst at .066.
And now he'll be off the bases. That's one. That's two. Double play. 4-6-3 started by Schumacher. That's all right. Keep him out there and let him wear himself out, Al. Hot night here in St. Louis. Here's Derek Barton, who grounded out to short. 0 for 1. So we'll be at the Champions Club tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Father's Day here at Busch Stadium. And a strike. 2 Barton. 3 lefties in this lineup if you include the switch hitting Pennington. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It is. Road hitting streak snapped at 15 games last night, and overall 8-game hitting streak.
Little bit low. A number of the Cardinals had played with Barton in the minor leagues.
Particularly Brendan Ryan.
A 2-1 from Wainwright. On its way. 2-2. We were talking about Chris Carpenter and that winning percentage now of .625. That is 7th among active pitchers who have won 125 or more. And that's really quite a list. Johan Santana, Tim Hudson, Roy Oswalt, just to name a few.
Well, he has the best winning percentage in Cardinal history for anyone that has at least 100 decisions.
Just keep him healthy.
Oh, no doubt about it. When he is healthy, the Cardinals go to postseason. When he is not, the Cardinals have never gone to postseason.
And he'll see his former team this next week. We'll be in Toronto and then Kansas City. Off day on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all on Fox Sports Midwest. And Soup will see his old team, the Kansas City Royals.
Remember, last time in interleague play, we went to Toronto. It was our first time we saw Halladay. And Carpenter and Halladay put on a clinic in back-to-back games.
Carpenter's was a one-hit shutout, I believe. First walk issued by Wainwright tonight, and it brings in Jackson, who was hit by a pitch. Connor Jackson, former Arizona Diamondback, and maybe the first domino to fall as far as trades are concerned with Arizona.
Connor last year only played about 30 games and then was diagnosed with that valley fever.
He's hitting .417. No homers and 2 RBIs since he arrived on the scene with Oakland. about Carpenter, though, Al, that allows him to win like he does, he just never gives in. You know, you go back to the first 2 innings last night, 50-plus pitches to get through 2, had a bases-loaded jam in the first, was getting knocked around a little bit in the second, and then he shuts him down. That's it. He got better and better as the game went on.
Well, he's the type of pitcher that you may get 1 inning, and that's not uncharacteristic for a lot of very good pitchers. You might get them early in the game, but once they kind of settle in. And then yesterday, I mean, he gave up a lot of hits, but he's such a competitor that he bent, but he was going to break.
Breaking ball lifted into center. Colby over to his left to make the catch. Molina, Wainwright, and Brendan Ryan coming up for the Redbirds. Champions Club tomorrow. Out the crowd to the Thursday night fan cam. See who's enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do.
Must hydrate.
Good point. Hot night like tonight. Here's Molina. Yadi's error allowed Davis to score back in the first, and that's the only run in our ball game. 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. And he'll look at a strike on the outside corner. Molina is hitting .249, 2 home runs, and 29 RBIs. Cardinals this offseason talked about having an interest in Ben Sheets if the price was right. And for $10 million, that was not right.
No. And we hope he has a speedy recovery and gets back to where he was.
Flip it over to first. Molina retired. Voting is now open for the All-Star game in Anaheim this year. Help send your favorite Cardinals players to this year's All-Star game by voting up to 25 times. Vote early and vote often. Vote right now at Cardinals.com. 8th place hitter is Wainwright.
Definite contrast between the hitting skills of Sheets and Wainwright.
What these American League teams think when they see Tony, hitting the pitcher 8th. The American League teams don't even worry about having to hit the pitcher, but in this case, he sees him batting 8th, and Wainwright with a base hit. So both pitchers have singled, and it brings in Brendan Ryan, who had 2 hits last night.
Well, once again, Tony will bat the pitcher 8 when he thinks his team is offensively challenged. But right now, since this week he's moved his lineup, putting Holiday in the 2-hole and Ludwig in the cleanup spot, Tony really likes the balance, and I think he's going to stick with this a while. One, it really does allow Holiday to see better pitches, try and get out of his little funk. make him relax a little bit. But I think he really likes the balance.
Wainwright, that was close at first. A little smile on his face.
He's such a good athlete, but jumping back with the bag there almost looked like it was a little further than he thought.
Yes. The Twins now leading 13-10 in the 11th. Now it's just gone to final on the scoreboard here. They were down 9-4. The Twins were against the Phillies going into the 9th inning.
And
the day in which the Phillies offense again comes alive. That's been a real concern for them the last month or so.
Now it's a final
13-10.
Cincinnati's playing at Seattle later tonight. Cincinnati lost last night, putting the Cardinals half game in front.
That's outside and low, 1-2. Ben Sheets, the 31-year-old for the Oakland A's, just 2-6 this year. ERA just under 5, and opponents hitting .273 against him. He's made 26 starts, now 27, including tonight against the Cardinals.
And he's this year only getting 3 runs of support.
A lazy fly ball into right. Sweeney puts it away. Wainwright back to first, and we're back to the top of the lineup. Schumacher's single. First time up, and then was erased on a fielder's choice.
So he's 4 for 5 in this series. And that average over 250.
I mentioned on the pregame show with Jim how, you talk to Skip, and at times he'll tell you that he is thinking too much at the plate instead of just playing the game.
And one of the other things, he's just been way too hard on himself.
Skip lifts it into right center field. Sweeney is over. Davis is as well, and he'll take charge to make the play. The center fielder, Davis, makes the catch. So the Cardinals strand their first runner. And it's 1-0 after 3. Ozzie Smith announces that he will retire at the end of the season. 1996, and the Wizard called it quits, and it was on to the Hall of Fame after that. Some of the greatest plays any shortstop has ever made.
Oh, the patented elevator, jumping over a sliding runner, played with such acrobatics and flair. Leave his feet, dive, pop up, throw a runner out. One of the most remarkable things about Ozzie is he played with a torn rotator cuff for about 10 years.
I think the thing that everybody will also point to is the fact that he made himself into a pretty good offensive player.
At the end of his career, you could make a case that he was a better offensive player than he was defensive. And some people believe he's the greatest defensive shortstop to ever play. Dan, you're one of them.
I am. Here's Kurt Suzuki. And a swing and a miss, and he strikes out. So Wainwright picks up strikeout number 2.
Adam came into this action with the 3rd most strikeouts in the National League.
Brings in Ryan Sweeney, who fly to center his first time up. Sweeney was picked up in the Nick Swisher deal. He came over from the Chicago White Sox. Think about the White Sox. Boy, they haven't been shy about trading and being aggressive, have they?
I just wonder when Ozzie's going to kind of get fed up there. The general manager's already kind of gone on record saying he's going to change things.
Kenny Williams. Kevin Kuzminoff will be the hitter.
Do you think he was going to be a fixture in San Diego?
No doubt.
Touched on it last night, that young player, and then behind Kuzminoff you had Headley, who is their 3rd baseman today in San Diego, and then David Freese, kind of buried in their farm system, became expendable, and the Cardinals are very thankful.
Al is a rookie, and that was in 2007. He had 18 home runs for San Diego, and that tied the Padres rookie record with Benito Santiago at 18 and 87. And that's a look at John Mozeliak. Got a piece of Molina.
For Kuzminoff, you had Jeff Burrows' son, Sean, that first got to the big leagues, that went in at 3rd base, and then eventually shifted to 2nd.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Kuzminoff. Foul back. Good rip.
I don't know if Sean is still in. I don't think he's in the big leagues, and still think he's still relatively young. He should be playing someplace.
Remember Josh Barfield. Josh Barfield was part of a deal with Cleveland that brought Kuzminoff to San Diego. Now here he is with the Oakland A's. Scott Hairston and Aaron Cunningham went from Oakland to San Diego. A 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball struck him out. 2 in the inning, 3 on the night. Big bats coming up. Holiday, Pujols, and Ludwig. www.peopleallstars.com. And the winner from the Cardinals will be honored at the All-Star Game in Anaheim, July 13th, seen only on Fox. Holiday chops one foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. He is 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Put one into the second deck, but just fouled back in the first inning. 3 RBIs last night, including a line drive home run. The 1-1 pitch. Bottom dropped out of it at 89 from Ben Sheets. Angels over the Cubs. That's a final 12-0. Yankees get one back against the Mets. 5-3 the final. Check swing, and he went. Strikeout of Holiday on the breaking ball. And the second tonight for Ben Sheets.
It's a 12-0. Cubs lose today. That was the same score the last time Ben Sheets won here at home, and the last road victory for Ben Sheets. A combined shutout with Milwaukee. And Ben went 6 shutout innings in that game, but Albert's always had his number.
He could tie it up with one swing of the bat. And he'll look at a fastball and a strike. 3 other finals to tell you about. Toronto over San Francisco. White Sox beat Washington 1-0. And Boston over the Dodgers 5-4. Pedroia with a walk-off hit. One ball, 1 strike on Albert Pujols. Outfield is straight away. Mentioned on the pregame show that the Cardinals might be stepping out a time or 2 against Ben Sheets. One thing they know with this history of Sheets, he works very quickly. The same can be said for Adam Wainwright. And there you see Pujols calling time late.
It's too hot to call time.
Let's just get it going, huh? 1-2 the count.
It's a good point. You know, pitchers want to set the tone. They want to go out there and throw at their pace. And many times it's a good philosophy to try and alter that by stepping out. Good pitch, jams Albert, but he muscles it far enough to get it over the backstop. These 2 guys are going out there dealing. They're the one dictating the pace. And the hitters are trying to adjust to that. Most of the time the hitter wants to set the tone.
2-2.
95-mile-an-hour fastball, a little movement.
If you're wondering, in that dugout there is a cooling unit with the fan, and they can also dip back in the clubhouse to the AC. And a walk to Pujols. First walk issued by Ben Sheets. A blast from the past is back, and you don't want to miss it. July 2nd. And the Cardinals will face Ben Sheets' former team, the Milwaukee Brewers. It's the Brock Umbrella. It's back. Here's a look at the Brock Umbrella.
Hey, Red's wearing one. Blue's wearing one.
Well, you know Lou's going to wear one.
How come Dan's not wearing one?
Where are you?
Oh, there are pictures of me with it.
From way back when or now?
In the 70s.
Okay. You want those, or do you want a current look of the Brock Umbrella on your dome?
We offered to model it, but I think they reconsidered once they saw us.
Or they could get a Hall of Famer. They could get Red
or 2
and Lou. That's when you know it's a pretty good item, when Red Shandy's puts the Brock Umbrella on his head. Ludwig hits it out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red is flied out to center, 0 for 1.
Folks will be amazed. There's a fan with a one-handed catch. Don't drop that Anheuser-Busch Finest. But Red still, he did not dress out today. He's watching the open a little bit, but almost every day he comes out, dresses out, out on the field during batting practice, moving around, talking to players, making himself accessible.
Off-speed pitch at 79 that time, and it's 1-2.
And of course, Red always says the key to his longevity is hanging around younger people.
I love it when he's here.
He's just such a class act, great player. And Dan, Red used to, almost every year, early in the season, would at the midway point, the All-Star break, he would be battling for the batting championship, and then he'd really tail off in the second half.
Couple of hops to short, got it, throw to first, safe at first. Pennington initially bobbled it, so no force play at second, and Ludwig hustling all the way is safe at first.
Well, that's one of the reasons why. Hang and break the ball a little bit, but he hits the ground ball. Pennington tried to do it, but there's why you hustle. You never embarrass yourself when you hustle. That is the 4th error in the last 10 games for Pennington.
Pujols is dealing with a number of ailments. One of those is heel.
Well,
you see him going to second awkwardly, and he was limping just a bit.
Well, that's, there's a situation there where he started to slide and then he held up. That is not the recommended.
There's a fly ball off the bat of Rasmus. Davis, his counterpart in center, will make the catch. Both runners back to second and first.
If you start to commit to slide, continue to do so. You've got a good chance of hurting yourself at the last second. What he saw was Ellis. There wasn't going to be a force play at second base, so he started to pull up from the slide. But you can really hurt yourself by being caught in between. I was going to say, Red, the second half always tailed off, but late in his career, they discovered why. He had tuberculosis. And he played his entire career with that bug inside of him, and no wonder it just sapped his strength late in the season. And he always regrets, or always wondered what would have happened if he was tuberculosis free in his career, just even 1 year.
Father's Day tomorrow, and David Freese credits his dad for helping him get to the big leagues. Coached him from Little League on. So they got to high school, and he played locally here at Merrimack Community College, then went on to South Alabama. And Tony has talked about the fact that they love how even-keeled Freese has been. Not too high, not too low, and as Tony says, it's part of his upbringing. That's why he is the way he is.
I was just going to say, his parents should be very proud of him. And just today, Mark McGuire was remarking about what a great approach to hitting.
Taps it slowly to third. Fair ball. Easy play for Kuzminoff to step on the bat. Cardinals will strand 2, and we head to the 5th. find out more, all you have to do is go to visitmo.com. Wainwright back to work. And it's 1-0. Oakland with the lead. Oakland with a throwing error by Molina to score their run. And scored Davis with their only run tonight, only run in the ballgame. And the first pitch in the 5th inning is a strike at the knees. This is Ellis. He flied out to center his first time up. Wainwright has allowed 2 hits. Sheets has allowed 2. We also talked to Tony La Russa the other day about facing his former team. He had tremendous success with the Oakland A's. Doesn't live too far from their ballpark out on the West Coast.
Speaking of their ballpark, that's a real problem, as they are playing at the Oakland Coliseum. It's not a very good venue for baseball, and they would like to move. And one of the interesting things is the Giants are invoking that they have territorial rights over San Jose. It's about 60 miles from San Francisco.
It was a base hit into center. Just the 3rd hit allowed by Adam Wainwright. Keep your beverage cool in the heat of summer. Convenient Cooley Cup. It's pint glasses, stadium cups, your ice-cold Budweiser. It'll be Saturday, July 3rd. Cardinals take on the Brewers, and it's Cooley Cup Day at the ballpark, courtesy of Budweiser. Still good seats remaining for the Cooley Cup Day, and that again is on July 3rd.
San Jose is about 60 miles from, give or take a little bit from San Francisco. And yet, if you're at the ballpark, Giants ballpark, you can see across the bay to Oakland. That's okay, but they're claiming they will not give them permission to put a ballpark 60 miles south.
You are exactly right. They need that ballpark. They need some type of revenue stream outside of what they have. There's a fly ball. Holiday over and makes the catch. I asked Holiday about playing in that ballpark, and he said, well, people want to point to that, why he struggled with Oakland initially. He said bottom line was just at times a slow starter. Let's turn to our trivia question. Presented by AT&T, who has the most strikeouts all time for the Athletics. AT&T trivia question. So Reggie Jackson over 1,200. Then you have Canseco and McGuire, the Bash brothers.
You have some tape measure shots between all 3 of them.
Still always think about Reggie's 3 home runs for the Yankees, and then his home run in the All-Star game at Tiger Stadium.
It's got to be over 1,500 home runs between the trio.
Sheets, who singled his first time up. Bunts here. Wainwright thought about going to second. Schumacher covering over at first, so the sacrifice is good. He's helped himself with the bat tonight. North Stars making this Sunday, tomorrow, extra special Ice Cream Sunday. It's also a family Sunday, so for certain tickets that you purchase here at the ballpark, free hot dog and Coke. And tomorrow we also have the bat and ball set to give away for the kids, so come on down. And again, kids tickets start at just $7 all season long.
We have to be sold out at the Champions Club tomorrow, right?
I believe we are. Now with your appearance, it's sold out quickly.
Well, and Ricky and I'll be working hard, and you'll be working the crowd. You'll be bellied up someplace, really greeting each and every one of them.
0-1 pitch. I forgot that you guys were looking for me last year. That was just in the AC.
I'm just going about my business. It was that other guy,
Ricky,
that was
upset.
very upset.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to Davis, their leadoff man. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at second.
And to give him a happy pill.
Two strikes.
Talk about the percentage of curveballs he throws. You know, he can throw it at several different speeds. A real true 12 to 6. A little bit more with, you know, a pitch that like that wants to design to be out of the strike zone, get a hitter to chase.
2-2. Again. Got him to chase. A strikeout of Davis. That's 4 tonight for Wainwright. That's presented by Budweiser. Our What's on Tap. Looking forward to that. As Molina shoots one foul. We'll be on the outside. But you can stay cool on the inside. With 50 flat screens in there. The bars and all the food you want.
You know, Dan, if people have never been there, you have an assigned seat outside. But then you have all the amenities inside of the luxury suite. And really is one of our favorite places to be.
You and Ricky will do a great job tomorrow. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Yadier Molina.
You will help us with the pregame, won't you, a little bit?
First half inning. I'm all over it, Al. And then after that, time to say hello to people inside of the air conditioning.
Hey, I understand.
The 2-1 pitch to Yadi. Right off the mask of Suzuki.
Voice of the Cardinals on television. I mean, it's responsibility.
Oh.
You know,
you got to say hello to the folks
absolutely.
in the AC.
Yeah.
You know they have air conditioning.
You will allow Ricky and I a little bit of time to sign autographs and say hello to people also, won't you? Maybe like a half inning?
I don't think so. I think you guys will do a good job out there.
So I guess we better show up early and stay late. Right? Until we will, you know, be able to take care of all the requests that, and I'm sure we'll probably guide people over to us.
Absolutely.
And once you stay inside the air conditioning, but you'll show them how to get to us.
You know, one of the perks of having a ticket tomorrow is you have a chance also to get an autograph from Tim Garcia. He's worked a number of years up here in the booth, but the only problem is you'll have to find him.
There's Tip. I'm not going to say a word.
The next two, Yachty is hit out of play. Ricky was signing autographs last night. You and I had the first two tickets, but they went unpunched.
Somehow we couldn't find a way out there.
Maybe next year. Here's a 2-2 to Yachty. Hit out of play again.
Yachty 0 for his last 17.
See what he did on the road trip at 438.
Yeah, he had the big series in Arizona. We're 6 for 9. We need to get him a bases loaded situation. That's when he excels.
Just got a piece. At least he's making Sheets work here. After the kind of surgery that he had, you would figure right about now, Al, is when he's probably getting to where he's feeling better with every start, getting stronger, and feeling he can go deeper into games.
As I said, he's not getting much run support.
Little bit low. Good at bat by Yachty. Sheets can't believe it for the second time tonight. Borderline pitch here, and he doesn't get the call. According to Fox Tracks, that's a strike. So here we are in the bottom of the fifth, 1-0 Oakland. Let's see if Wainwright will bunt. There are hitting lanes, though, opened up with this possible threat. Only play is to go to first. Sacrifice is good. This season, it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals, and you'll find great seats, great service on StubHub all season. StubHub.com. Choose your seats today.
Times having the pitcher in the 8th spot is a plus, as Tony chose to sacrifice, put Molina into scoring position. Now you have your 9th place, or a position player, almost a second leadoff man at the plate.
One out, tying run at second. Brendan hits it out to left, but it hangs up there to be caught as Connor Jackson has out number 2, and it brings in Schumacher. Schumacher tonight 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. He also flied out to center in the third. Tony tonight keeping this lineup intact. It's the first time in 31 days that Tony La Russa has done that with the Cardinal lineup.
Well, we know that Yachty doesn't have great running speed, but this is a time where he can make up for it by looking in. There's 2 outs and really get a good jump there.
That's up the middle. Base hit. Here comes Molina. Throw by Davis to the plate. Not in time. Schumacher delivers. Ties it up 1-1.
Another multi-hit game for Skip. Another RBI for Skip. He's coming out of it. But we're talking about when you're out there at second base, even when you don't have great speed, 2 outs, so he can get a great jump. He knows that he's coming home. Just put your head down and run for home. Let somebody else tell you whether that ball goes through or not. And even if you're out there with 2 outs and 2 strikes, as you see Ellis make the effort trying to knock it down and save a run. But if you got 2 outs and 2 strikes out there, you could almost be an umpire. And if you see a hitter start to swing, you could just take off.
Holiday rips it out to deep left center field. That ball will get down off the base of the wall. They'll wave in Schumacher. Trying to score from first. He will. RBI double from Matt Holiday. Cardinals lead it for the first time here in the 5th. It's 2-1.
With 4 RBIs for Holiday now in this series. He had 3 hits, 2-run home run, two hits, 3 RBIs in yesterday's game, a 2-run home run, then an RBI later. Now he gives the Cardinals a lead with a solid shot out into left center. And with 2 outs, Skip can just circle the bases and give the Cardinals their first lead.
And they will walk Pujols with first base open and deal with Ludwig. Wainwright now with a lead of 2-1, and his good buddy Skip Schumacher scoring the go-ahead run. Remember, this inning started with a really good at-bat by Yadier Molina. Fought off some good pitches from Ben Sheets and eventually drew a walk on a borderline pitch. Fox Tracks showed you it was probably a strike. Joe West called it a ball. The sacrifice by Wainwright, fly out by Ryan, and then all the scoring here done with 2 outs. A single by Schumacher, his 16th RBI. Holiday RBI double, his 29th RBI. Intentional walk to Pujols, his 52nd walk of the year. And now it's Ludwig. Cardinals tickets, the text poll. What is the best Father's Day gift? Al wanted A, B, and D. So, June, if you're watching, take note for Al.
And everyone agreed with C is not the right answer. Anything other than that, and who could beat Cardinal tickets on Father's Day?
2 outs, 2 on. June, of course, would be your lovely bride.
Yes, and look at this. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, 455. He's second in the National League overall with runners in scoring position. But wait a minute, I think it was this week we showed a graphic of even going back to in his career with the Cardinals batting cleanup behind a Pujols walk. His numbers are very, very good.
Yes.
Are you surprised with that his production?
Absolutely.
Everybody thought, you had to get Holiday, you had to get protection for Pujols, and yet statistically the numbers showed that he was doing the job.
On 3-0, it's a walk to Ludwig. 3rd walk in the inning issued by Ben Sheets. Al, in many ways, I don't know if you agree with it, but he was, with all the talk of the outfielders last year when Ankiel was here and Rasmus arrived on the scene, to me, Ludwig was kind of the forgotten man. And again, this year, this offseason, he was kind of the forgotten man.
And I don't know why. I mean, 2 years ago, Ludwig was the Silver Slugger Award winner. He had the same many RBIs as Pujols. He hit 37 home runs. He was an all-star. Last year, he led the Cardinal outfielders with 22 home runs, 97 RBIs. And you see the pitch count. And by far, the most pitches in an inning are the 24 this inning, and there's 2 outs, but the base is loaded for Kobe.
No activity in the Oakland bullpen. Rasmus is 0 for 2 tonight. Taps one foul.
Whoa.
And David Freese hit it right back at home plate.
And it hit Kobe, I think, in the back. I've never seen that. Sorry. I think that was saying, get a hit. I don't think Joe would have been laughing or would have hit him. But he just kind of bunted at the ball. Hit it right back at Kobe, hit him in the back of the leg, I believe.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. In all your years, you've never seen it. So Holiday with the double, intentional walk to Pujols, a walk to Ludwig, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes here on Colby. Looking for that first grand slam. 1-2 the count.
They're trying to get him to chase the ball up. Kobe 0 for 2. He struck out first time. Wainwright doing the right thing. You're interested in what's going on, but you're really focusing on what your job is.
Foul ball. Freese was so anxious to hit, he just let it rip from the on-deck circle. Packed house here at Busch Stadium. He can't stop smiling or laughing down there.
We've heard patting a guy like on the rear end, but that's getting to a little extreme.
Two and two. Base is loaded. Chance to bust the game wide open here. And Colby hits a fly ball. 96 on the gun. Jackson makes the catch. Wainwright and the Cardinals have their first lead of the night, 2-1 after 5. By Lumiere Casino, your next home could be on the house. River City Casino and Lumiere Place Casino and Hotels giving away a $250,000 home plus 18-room makeovers now through July 2nd. Visit rivercity.com for details. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Derek Barton leads it off for the A's. Busch Stadium the scene here in St. Louis. 2-1 Cardinals. Right down the middle, that's quickly 2 strikes. The 0-2 to Barton. Trying to get him to chase on that breaking ball.
Barton 0 for 5 in the series and a walk.
The year batting .277. A 1-2 from Adam Wainwright. 2-2. We always talk about the importance of having that shutdown inning after your team gives you the lead.
The best way to do that is to retire the leadoff man.
Barton has walked tonight, grounded out to short. Now he'll ground to second. Schumacher to his left. Good play. Let's take a look at our pitch-by-pitch feature presented by Chevrolet.
Well, a good way to retire hitters is to get ahead of them. Fastball for a strike, then he comes back, gets 0-2. Tries to get him to chase that breaking ball. Tries to get him to get the ball there. Now he grounds to second base, and his defense has been good tonight. Just the one error allowed an unearned run in the first. Wainwright struck out 4. He's walked 1 and hit a batter.
That's up the middle, but positioned perfectly again. Schumacher. 2 away. We talked about it in our open, just how good he has been here at home. Last 4 home outings against the leadoff hitter. Coughlin had the double and a run scored. Weeks a double. Ichiro with the home run. And started off this homestand. And then tonight, Davis a double and a run scored. The rest of the game, he shuts it down.
Pitched very well. He's thrown 21 consecutive quality starts at home. Now that's the longest streak in history.
Major League history.
Of course, quality start was a stat that was a stat that was created by agents for arbitration cases. When you had a pitcher that maybe didn't have a good winning record, but they said, oh, he quality starts.
Suzuki into shallow center. And a base hit. Broke his bat and a single. Bob Gibson in here a few weeks ago, and he said the quality start drives me crazy. He said a quality start, as far as my definition is concerned, is a win.
That's right. I mean, that's why I say it's an arbitration start stat that, say, like you have a pitcher that has a good ERA, but he has a losing record, so they say, well, he's done his job. Well, if your team gets you 2 runs, then you have to hold the opposition to 1 or less. Team gets you 10 runs, well, 9. If you hold them to 9 or less, you're doing your job.
2 outs and a run right first. Here's Sweeney, who was flying to center and also grounded out to short.
Find out in baseball, people only care about your 1-loss record. It's not so much about the other things.
Here's a 1-0. Ground ball and skip. He'll tie a record. All 3 hit to him. And the Cardinals lead it by a run. Glad you're with us. Along with Al Rabaski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And it's 2-1, St. Louis leading Oakland. Here's David Freese. Think he heard from a player or two about his on-deck mishap.
I hope they saw it.
Little grounder to left side. Kuzmanov spins and throws and takes a hit away. Freese retired for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 3. That brings in Molina.
Watch it again. Ground here. A couple steps to his left. Catches it after a high hop and spins and throws him out.
So 1 out. Molina has walked and also grounded out. Hits it to the right side. Martin leading Sheets. He had more time than he probably thought. And Derek Martin makes the play.
See, Dan, there are a lot of people that keep scoring. You will never make that mistake again, will you?
Do you want me to go into the story? You love it when I tell the story.
I love to tell the story.
A few years ago, Al and I were doing a telecast, and I'll lump you in with this, but yet it was my fault, if you want to call it that. For those of you keeping score at home, that went 3-1. I can't imagine people that actually would keep score at home, and oh, did I hear from folks that keep score at home. 4 pitches for Sheets. Thanks, Ben. Let's get out of here. It's 2-1. Oakland. And a look at Tony La Russa's career wins by team. 522, his first job with the Sox in the late 70s. Mid-80s, he went to Oakland, finished up in the mid-90s, and since 1996, there he is with the Cardinals. 2,589 total wins. That's third all-time. Doesn't seem like he's slowing down anytime soon either.
He's got a chance to pass John McGraw's 2,763 and second all-time. He already is second in games managed in the big leagues. And if he could get to second place in all-time wins, that would just pads his resume for the Hall of Fame.
This is Kuzmanov. Looks at a breaking ball underway here in the 7th. Kuzmanov is 0 for 2. Another curveball.
Only 80 pitches thrown by Wainwright tonight.
Now you also factor in how he warms up before the game and between innings. Not many pitches.
Oh, really doesn't exert a lot of energy.
There's Pujols ranging to his right. He was well off the line anyway. And there's one out.
Such a good athlete, that well conditioned, so a play like this is very routine for him. There you see Albert, very deliberate, leading his receiver, which Adam was all state in Georgia in football, and also was a kicker, right?
Correct. Ellis 1 for 2 with a single. Fastball at a strike. That single was back in the 5th. He's hitting 289. Curveball, nasty pitch again from Adam. 0-2. So fastball first pitch, curveball second pitch. What's coming on the third pitch?
Fastball in.
Ubaldo Jimenez, I was talking with Jim on the pregame show right now, would hands down win the Cy Young Award, you would assume. 1.15 ERA and all the wins.
Hard to imagine there'd be anybody that would be another fastball in.
Let's slowly hit. Molina calls for it, fires to first, and got it.
Nice play by Yachty.
The point I was about to make, Al, is that if you're looking for other guys that will be in that conversation, certainly Wainwright would be one of them.
No doubt about it. He finished third in voting last year. He was the National League winner. Leader in wins with 19. He had more first place votes than anybody, but he finished third behind his teammate Carpenter, and then Lincecum won it, which I really think, because Wainwright and Carpenter split the votes. And another factor which really I think the voters should have taken more in consideration, Lincecum had a bad stretch going down the stretch, and that's where you would think most people would be prone to give it to one of the Cardinal pitchers, because they were both going down the stretch.
Pitch count only at 85. The 1-1 pitch. Taken for a strike. This is Pennington, their 8th place hitter. They've got Cust, a pinch hitter, potentially on deck for Ben Sheets, and they've got a lefty and a righty throwing in their pen. No activity for the Cardinals. The 1-2. On 1-2, it's hit out to right. Backing up, Ludwig to make the catch. Time to stretch on this Saturday night here in the Midwest. St. Louis 2, Oakland 1, as Ludwig pulled it in. Long drive inning sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th, Catherine Cords qualifies for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. That's a fair ball off the bat of Brendan Ryan. Fans don't touch it. Regardless, it's a double for Brendan Ryan. Some insurance would certainly be nice.
It's like right over the bag. And a good call. And Brendan with the leadoff double. His first hit, 1 for 3. Ben Sheets, the first scheduled hitter, so they'll get activity in that bullpen. Hopeful that he can escape this inning without further damage. But Skip now 2 for 3.
I've been pitching Schumacher away. He
Good
punts. And Guzman off his only plays to go to first, and Ryan advances to third. Sacrifice 5-3. Skip a good night. A couple of fine plays that he's made defensively. He's been busy there. He has an RBI, a run scored, and 2 base hits.
His job right there, setting up for the big guys. So Skip 5 hits in this series. Holiday has come alive. And these first 2 guys in the order kind of set the tone, really help out. Albert, they've just been pitching around him, but up to Holiday.
So here we go. Matt Holliday, runner at third, and 1 out. RBI double with 2 outs back in the 5th for Holliday. Infield is drawn in this 2-1 game. Holliday rips it out to deep right. Track, wall, gone. 2-run homer for Matt Holliday. His second in as many nights against the Oakland A's.
Second 3 RBI night. Gives the Cardinals a little cushion. It's now 4-1. And once again, the first 2 in the order really settling in and jump-starting this offense.
Marty's prime cut of the game.
8th home run, 3 RBIs. He's over 30 now. And Cardinal cushion. So 6 RBIs. He's got 31 now, and he's had 6 in the first 2 games of this series.
And we also have a Hyundai winner as Pujols grounds it to short, backhanded. The stretch over there at first by Barton. So congratulations to Catherine Cords, a chance to win that Hyundai at the end of the season. Catherine Cords a winner tonight thanks to Matt Holliday.
And if there's 2 guys that have been really just trying way too hard, it's Schumacher and Holliday. And hopefully now they're starting to relax a little bit as their production is going up for both of them. But it's just, it's because they care so much.
This is Ludwig, and he'll fly out to right. You know, those 2 at the top of the order, Schumacher and Holliday. 7-pitch inning, by the way. 4 hits tonight, 2 runs scored, and 4 RBIs. More on defense. This was just a couple of moments ago. A very good play by Yadier Molina. And that was to get the speedy Ellis. mention at the top of our telecast tonight, Wainwright with 3 complete games already. With his pitch count very efficient at 90, depending on what happens here. Certainly 6 outs away, you can see him maybe making it 4. So Ben Sheets is through. This is Jack Cust. Began the year in the minor leagues. He's got a couple of home runs and 10 RBIs. He historically has had pretty good power for the A's.
He led the A's in home runs last year, 25. Also strikeouts, 185. Third consecutive season that he's topped the club in games, runs, on-base percentage. Led the American League in strikeouts, ranked 5th in walks. And he's been a great hitter against St. Louis. He did ground out last night as a pinch hitter, but he's 10 for 17, 588 average in 6 career games against St. Louis.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Cust. Outside, 3-1. It'll be Cust here, pinch hitting for Sheets, who struck out 2 on the night. He did walk 4. One of those was intentional and gave up 4 runs and 6 base hits. A 3-1 to Cust. Hammered out to deep right field. And Ludwig won't get it. Couple of hops to the wall and a leadoff double. And we're back to the top of the lineup in Davis.
5th hit for the A's. 2nd double. First one coming a leadoff double by Rajah Davis, who's standing at the plate. He had 4 hits last night, ties his career high. And he's 1 for 3 in this game. Trevor Miller is starting to get loose.
Davis had the leadoff double, came around to score. Also hit into a 4-6-3 double play and struck out.
Ross throwing in the A's bullpen.
Davis hitting 288 with runners in scoring position. Cust will tag up. They'll test Kobe from second to third, and a strong throw in. Couple of hops in the third and right on line. And there's one away.
Back up on the ball, and Kobe can get his momentum coming forward. You see the shortstop Brendan Ryan in perfect position to be the cutoff man. He does not hear from his third baseman, so he let the ball go through. And Cust started to run, but when he saw that Kobe anticipated it, he stopped.
There's Derek Barton. Walk tonight, also a pair of groundouts, one to second, the other to short. Cardinals fell behind 1-0 after 1. They scored 2 in the 5th and then 2 more in the 7th. Just missed a little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch. Changing speeds up and down all night. And efficient. Most he's thrown was 17 pitches back in the 3rd. Dave Duncan has told us the standard is 15 an inning, as his pitch total now at 98. On 1-2. Martin takes a ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Barton a liner. Double play. Yes. Crushed. Doubled up at second base. Wow. It's 4-1. Every thrilling moment of the 2010 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And coverage begins Tuesday, July 13th, live from Anaheim at 7, and it's only on Fox. Tyson Ross is the new pitcher for Oakland in relief of Ben Sheets, who was a second-round pick from just a year ago. It's our Chevy call to the pen, back in 2008. Turned out to be a gorgeous night. We were delayed at the start of our ball game this evening. Adam Wainwright gets the double play, and if you're Tony La Russa, it might make your decision a little tougher because his pitch count stays down. He gets 2 outs with a price of 1. He's at an even 100, and so he very well could go back out there for the 9th inning.
Looks like Franklin is warming up, so that may be an indication that we talked a little bit. Franklin not getting a lot of work may have him go out there for 2 full innings, something that he's had to do recently. Excuse me, the 9th inning, a save situation. So I'm sure you warm up your closer, you bring him in, and the 22nd consecutive home game. A quality start extends his major league record, most in history.
Terrible base running mistake by Cust at second base as he was doubled up on the liner off the bat of Derek Barton. And just by watching Wainwright, you get the feeling that his night is through.
The 1 run, unearned run, 5 hits allowed, and just trying to pick up his 10th victory. ERA has been lowered to below 2 1/4.
You watch Tyson Ross, big guy, 6'6", 230 pounds. He is from the Oakland area and drafted by the Oakland A's in 08. Cahill and Suppan tomorrow at 12:30.
He's born in Berkeley, California, and resides now in Oakland. This is his first year in the big leagues. Last year he was combined 10-10, 20-something games, all starts between A-ball and Double-A. Did make 2 starts earlier this year for Oakland, but settling in, he has allowed a ERA over 12 in his last 9 appearances, all in relief.
And a little slider that time, and a strikeout of Colby Rasmus. Casino Queen brings us our Fox Tracks, and strike 3 on Colby, who's had a tough night at the plate. second time he has struck out. He also flied out with the bases loaded one time, and the other time with 2 runners on. It's a sellout here tonight.
43,680 plus.
1 out. And a fastball taken for a ball. You watch Ross throw out pretty free and easy, and the ball just jumps out of his hand.
Like you say, 6'6", 225, and just long arms and good whip action.
In our crowd tonight, 43,682. Two-0 pitch to Freeze. Breaks his bat. It's hit to second. Quickly, 2 outs. This Skype telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Oakland A's. Connor Jackson, Kurt Suzuki, and then Sweeney. Yadi 0 for 2. There's that little slider again at 87 miles an hour. One ball, 1 strike.
Ross is only 22 years of age. He's 23 now. His birthday was late April.
Fastball is hit out of play. That one at 96. One-two pitch, spoiled. That pitch at 98, and the line on Adam Wainwright, 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, a walk, and he strikes out 4. Remember the run that they scored was on the throwing error by Molina.
Doubt about it. Another dominant performance by Wainwright.
And a 1-2 pitch to Yadi. Spoiled again. That pitch at 97. National League win leaders going into tonight. Mike Pelfrey and Derek Lowe both with 9, along with Wainwright, all chasing Ubaldo Jimenez with 13.
This season, assuming the Cardinals win this game, Adam would be 10-0 when receiving 4 runs of support.
1-2 pitch. And a grounder hit to short. That will send us to the 9th. offers a better TV experience. Visit att.com for details. And by Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. Another outstanding start once again for Adam Wainwright. 8 innings, no earned runs, gave up 1 run total. And we'll turn it over to the Cardinals All-Star from a year ago, their closer Ryan Franklin. It's our Chevy called with a pen. Can't say enough about Wainwright, just how well he has thrown once again this year.
Franklin picked up a save, number 13 last night.
He's 13 out of 14, and the ERA is under 2. Opponent's hitting .202. And if they can't get him off the hook, Ben Sheets will take the loss and go to 2-7.
His 15th loss against the Cardinals in his career, and continue his pitching problems on the road, but very little run support. Talked last night about Franklin. Only 6 appearances in the month of June, and his command has been a little bit off, but now starting to pitch back to back a little bit. Hopefully he'll get that pinpoint control.
I'm sure Tony flirted with the idea, especially after the double play, of sending Wainwright back out there for the ninth. A 1-1 pitch to Connor Jackson, misses in. 2-1.
Another reason why you would think about that possibility too is, like, you got Suppan going tomorrow. You know, he's still not stretched out to the point where you can pencil in or reliable enough to say he's going to get you into the final 3 innings. Hopefully it'll be better, but remember, it's going to be hot tomorrow, and you would think that if you got your 5 innings, you'd be thrilled. Keep you into a ball game.
Here's a 3-1 pitch to Connor Jackson. And a leadoff walk by Franklin, something that he rarely does. They're standing by at Linear Place Casino in the Aqua Bar for U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. It'll be Jim Hayes and Rick Gordon on the postgame show. It's all coming up on Cardinals Live right here on Fox Sports Midwest.
You're right about the walks. Earlier game where Franklin walked 2, and that's just not him. And that's what we're talking about. Is control a little bit off with this, not pitching on a consistent basis, but really can't use that excuse because he pitched last night.
Cardinals have turned 2 double plays tonight. One of them a 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd, and to end the top of the 8th, they had that line drive off the bat of Barton that doubled up Jack Cust at 2nd. A 0-1 pitch to Kurt Suzuki. Base hit into center, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Ball up over the middle of the plate, and that's going to be hit. Suzuki with his 2nd hit, and only the 6th. Both teams have had 6 hits in this game. And Dave Duncan out to talk to Franklin as Miller up for the 2nd time.
That's the one thing with Franklin and McClellan that you know that they can do is get both the righties and the lefties out. So you have right now Trevor Miller, lefty, getting loose in the Cardinal pen, and there's a look at Kyle, who was tremendous again last night.
Frankie's the kind of guy that when he's right, he can get ground balls. He can get you that twin killing. He's going to give up his share of hits, but rarely will walk a man, and that's in the case the runner at 2nd base. Connor Jackson on by a walk, and then complicated with a following up with a base hit. So nobody out, and the potential tying run at the plate. Jason Mott has now joined Trevor Miller. It's a foul ball and off his shin. Stayed fair, but foul ball. And you see the hard throwing Mott and the effective lefty specialist Miller.
And a ground ball that's passed Skip Schumacher and into right. A run will score. And it's runners at first and second with nobody out.
See where Skip is right here. Had a couple steps to his left. Hits his glove, but he can't corral the ball and goes for the RBI single. We kind of, you know, most of the time, Tony always looking ahead, and we kind of wondered, would he put Felipe Lopez at second base and, you know, bring him in and part of a double switch, put Lopez, the leadoff hitter, in the ninth, and, you know, it'd save a couple spots in the batter's orders. You hope this is not one of the rare times, and it looks like Tony's going to make a pitching change. And rare times you take out Franklin, and he's going to the bullpen and bring in Mott for the strikeouts.
Some anxious moments now. It's 4-2. The hard thrower, who at times has just been unhittable this year. And in fact, he had a perfect stretch of 9+ innings at one point this year.
Leads the club with relievers with strikeouts. He does have one save on the season. And when Jason Mott is right, he's had a couple days off. He's a very hard thrower. He's only allowed one inherited runner, and that was a little bit deceiving as he came in with runners at second and third, nobody out, and the run scored on a sac fly. But he has been very good at stranding inherited runners.
Runners at first and second. First pitch, who went right by him at 98.
Got Kuzmanov's attention, dialed up a bit.
Got the crowd's attention too. They were into it. Quickly, 2 strikes, nothing in 2. Kuzmanov tonight is fly to right. He's struck out and also grounded out. An 0-2 pitch. Here it comes.
Foul ball. Check. Never got the really bat started, but got a check swing. Kuzmanov came in, banged 409 interleague games this year, and 317 in his career in interleague play. Late, he's done very well with runners in scoring position after starting the season 0 for 17.
0-2 pitch. Again, another check swing. I want to remind folks that normally the Sunday games are on Channel 5, but with the U.S. Open on NBC, we'll have the ball game for you on Fox Sports Midwest tomorrow.
And 0-2 pitch.
Here it comes.
99. As the crowd gets excited.
Well, Jason has even said it's hard not to look at the gun and see what you're throwing, but he said it's even harder if you don't spot it and lose a game.
Good point. It's not how hard you throw. You better have a little movement. You better have some location.
1-2 and a swing and a miss. Mott gets the strikeout. Big out there. Our player of the game here this evening for Game 2 between the A's and Cardinals is Adam Wainwright. 8 innings, 5 hits, a run that was not earned, walked 1 and struck out 4. He's our Budweiser player of the game.
Third of the way down 4. Mott and the Cardinals. That was 1 for 3.
Look at that. Strike 1.
Now there are some hard throwers in the National or in the American League, but it always looked like he was totally overmatched. His last 19 times up with runners in scoring position.
There's a drive into right center. Making the catch. Rasmus.
That was 421. That just came down a bit. Gabe Gross is going to pinch hit here. Will Tony go to left-hander, or will he leave Mott in there? We saw Gabe Gross a little bit with Milwaukee. Gross struck out as a pinch hitter on Thursdays, 1 for 6. And only a 163, 22 for 135 career average as a pinch hitter. He does have 3 home runs and 20 RBIs. It's the 4th team that Gross has been with in his big league career. Toronto, Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, and now Oakland. Crowd is on their feet, Dan.
And how about the job Mott has done?
He hasn't done anything yet. He's got to retire this batter.
So far, he's got the first 2.
He represents the go-ahead run as the tying runs are on base. But Mott looks like he wants it, doesn't he?
Sure does.
But under control.
Hasn't been messing around. It's been fastball after fastball here in the ninth. And a 1 pitch. A liner and a base hit. A run will score. Cuts the lead to 4-3. Another base hit can tie it up. Single RBI extends the game. Scores Suzuki.
There you see a fastball that's up a little bit, but he hits it over into left center. They score the 3rd run, making a 1-run game. Another pitch hitter that we saw a little bit last year with Cincinnati, Rosales.
Adam Rosales, who primarily played third base for Cincinnati last year. Pitches .213 in 87 games. 4 home runs and 19 driven in. Made his major league debut with the Reds in 2008. So runners at first and second. First pitch, a strike. Cardinals trying to hold on for Wainwright. Get him victory number 10.
Adam hit his second career pinch hit home run a week ago in San Francisco. It was the 100th pinch hit home run of Oakland's history.
0-1 pitch. One ball, one strike. 43,000 plus. They're on their feet here at Busch Stadium.
Good ball game. Cardinal fans will be a lot happier if Mott retires the pinch hitter.
Blew it right by him again. 97. A's down to their final strike.
Heading the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Foul back.
A piece of it. Mott has thrown 14 pitches, 12 in the strike zone. The count 1-2. He could throw one a little bit wide and see if this hitter's going to chase it. Don't have much time to think as hard as Mott throws.
Cardinals trying to pick up win number 23 here at Busch Stadium. Go to 23-11. Mott is set. And here's the 1-2. Got it. Cardinals hold on for the win. The 4-3 over Oakland. And look for a sweep tomorrow afternoon. Wainwright 10-4. Another big night for Matt Holliday.